Okay, today we are going to be taking a look at creating landscapes that are both realistic and then abstract and kind of what that means. So we're going to be doing something kind of simple today. Um, I want to look at how we can simplify a real basic landscape. So I'm going to start from an image. Now you can look at the one I'm working from, or you can pull up your own if you have a picture that you would like to work from. Let me see if I can find the one. Oh, well, let me do that. I would most like to work with here. I've got it here. Let's see. Where did it go? Where did it go? We worked with that one last time. Actually, I probably will use that same one because some of you all are kind of familiar with it. So let's take a look at this. Okay. So this is that landscape that we looked at last time and that we've looked at before and drawn a couple times. And so I want to take a look at how we can look at doing it realistic versus doing it abstract. And so, like always, I'm going to pop in a couple extra layers here, and I'm going to go to a layer above, and I'm just going to do a basic outline first of all. So I'm going to grab my black pen here, and I'm just going to do a basic outline and find sort of where the basic shapes of these things are to do my drawing. Now, I'm going to um, do the entire little drawing and little sketches here. With just my pen. So I can just find my lines. And then we're going to talk about how we will make these look realistic or abstract in just a moment. And so you all can be working on your drawings. You might draw you don't have to have a drawing to even work from. You might draw from memory. You might uh, remember just some basic mountains or trees, maybe a lake. Um, we may look at doing a path. We may change this up a little bit once we start um, working with it here. I got an idea here for something I kind of do with this because this is going to be a little different. We just want to have a frame of reference so you all understand what it is I'm drawing from and what I'm creating. If I'm not clear, you can go, oh, I can see it. He described it terribly, but there, I can see it. Okay, so I've about got my trees kind of in where I think they're going to be. And we're going to start talking about a few ways. Oh, my pen quit working. Uh-oh. Try that again. All right, and I'm gonna put this fence kind of goes across here. All right, got post. All right, got a little fence there. Okay, and so now I've kind of got basic idea of where stuff is, and I'm going to turn that layer off. So now I've got just a real basic sort of sketch or outline of this landscape. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line sort of right down the middle. And on the left side, I'm going to make that realistic. On the right side, we're going to do that abstract. And so you might have mountains in yours, trees, clouds, maybe some sky, of course. Maybe you have a river, a road. Um, I would like for you to think about putting similar details on both sides. For instance, I've got trees on both sides of this. I've got some buildings on both sides. I've got some fence on both sides, grass on both sides, sky on both sides. And the reason I say that is we want to look at how we're going to handle these different elements of this drawing realistically and how we might handle them abstractly. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work only on my realistic side. And I'm going to choose a sky for my color. And I'm going to go to the background first. And so I'm going to go with this sort of blue because blue is representational of that sky color that we saw. I'm going to choose my pastel and I'm going to put in my blue. And again, I'm only doing this half. Oh, I'll tell you what I want to do here. Undo that. What did I not do? I didn't choose my layer, did I? So I'm going to go to the layer below my drawing. And that's where I'm going to put my color. There we go. And that way my drawing stays on top. I always see my outline. And I can see where I need to put my color and so forth. Alright, so I'm laying in my blue sky. Now if I were going to add clouds, I would maybe add some white fluffy clouds, maybe because it's a bright bright summer day. And that's the sky's blue, so we can tell. Now, if all of a sudden I might want to do something really weird and put something strange in there, we call that displacement. Sometimes when there's something weird going on, like if all of a sudden in this sky I were to draw, even if it was realistic, if I were to draw like a clock, just huge clock stuck way up in the sky, that would sort of make it abstract because that clock doesn't belong there. That's different than what would really be there. So just because things are rendered or drawn in a realistic fashion doesn't mean necessarily that that image is realistic. It might be abstract still, and they just might be doing that by creating things that don't really belong. So I'm just blocking in some green here to show that these trees are green. Oh, I want to stay off of that side. Stay off of there. All right. I'm going to choose to make this a little more opaque, a little smaller. And I'm going to go to my infinite color selector now, and I'm going to start adding some shadows to those trees because, again, I want to show that they're realistic. So I'm going to make parts of them darker to show that there's light coming in, and some of them I'll make lighter, but to show that that light is hitting the tops of them maybe. So kind of at the bottoms, on the back sides of some of these trees, I'm going to start creating some value, adding some dark here. Same with these in the back. Okay. I'm going to then go to my infinite color selector. I'm going to go a little towards my yellow side there, and I'm going to pick a green to kind of do these highlights with. Again, it doesn't have to be photorealistic to be realistic. We're looking for representational color. Remember, does it represent what is going on in the subject matter we're drawing? And so my trees are still representative of the color, the shape essentially of those. I've not really oversimplified too much. It's a little simplified. All right, I'm going to put some clouds in real quick because I want to show you. And so I'm just going to go with a white, and I'm just going to put some little white fluffy clouds here. There's a little white fluffy cloud. Maybe there's another one here. And I like to work with things in threes. So I'm going to put another cloud here. All right, so I've got three little clouds in the sky, and I've got my trees. And now I'm going to consider that in the background, I've got that roof. I'm going to do it in red. Oh, I'm going to do it in red. There we go. Oh, that's too big. All right. All right, so my barn roofs are going to be red. Oh, remember, I'm going to stay on this side of that line. All right, I'm going to make this one red. All right, and there's a little red roof here. And then my buildings over here are going to be sort of this light gray because theirs were sort of a light gray. So we're going to kind of go with that. And again, because I'm going for realistic here, I don't want to oversimplify that color. So I'm going to go in here and choose a little darker to put in the sides to show again. Whoop, that got a little crazy, didn't it? All right, here we go again. And guys, if ever, you've heard me say this a bunch, if ever it stops working, just click out and click back in. So now I've got the shadows to show that the sides of that building are in shadow. And again, that is going to help lend some of that realism. I'm going to block in my grass real quick. I'm trying to be conscientious of time here. I'm going to turn, because I'm going to do a lot of grass at one time, I'm going to turn my size up. Come on, there we go. All right. I'm just going to put all my grass in real quick. And then I'm going to put my fences in. Now maybe you've got a road or a river that's going into yours, into your design, into your landscape. And maybe that river winds back and forth between your realistic side and um, your let's go with white here, your abstract side. Okay, I'm going to turn my size up and that opacity. And I'm just going to start drawing in these fences here in the back. All right, I'm going to put another one here because I kind of like the way this looks. Extra rail there. Okay. And last but not least, I'm going to put this in here. And I'm sort of simplifying this fence, but for time. But you can kind of get the idea. I'm trying to get as much detail in there as I can. And then because I'm going for that sort of realistic, I would probably come up here and choose my pencil and then turn my size down on it. But then maybe start adding some of those values that add those shadows. That'll convince us that those are real boards. The little shadows on the sides and that sort of thing. And then that'll convince us a little more that it's realistic. Again, we want to think about how light plays. We want to think about how things really look. How can we make those things look realistic? So this is sort of my realistic side. So now what are we going to do abstract? Well, the first couple of things we think about abstraction is how can we abstract the color? How can we abstract the shape, make it different? The shape's different, the color different. How we might use displacement, put something weird, strange, those types of things. So let's talk about color. If we want abstract color, man, I've never really seen a sky this color. So I'm going with a really cool wild purple in my abstract color. I've never seen this color as a sky. So pick a color that you've never seen a sky that color before. And this is what we're going to do on our abstract side. All right. Abstract color background. Now, what if I had clouds in this one? How can I make them abstract? Well, what if I want abstract color, but also abstract shape? Like, what if they were yellow? And let's go with kind of a bright yellow. And what if instead of cloud shapes, they were triangles? So there's one. Maybe there's a little cloud behind it that's also a triangle. And here's another triangle cloud over here. and a little triangle cloud. There we go. And so we've got some abstract shapes, abstract color going on. What about those trees? Again, I'm going to think about simplifying the shapes, and I'm going to go with a interesting red color for these, and I'm just going to make them simple, round shapes. So here's my red one. Here's one here. And instead of another red one, this one's going to be really bright blue, and it's going to be more of an egg shape. So now I've simplified the color, I've simplified or abstracted color, I've simplified the shape. So I've added abstraction in that way. Okay. What about my grass? What color am I going to do with grass? I think my grass in this one, I think we're going to get it to match those clouds a little bit. So let's go with yellow. And I'm going to do a little back in here. And a little over here. All right. So yellow grass. Again, abstracting that color. When we do those buildings, we're going to really simplify those. And so I'm going to go back to my marker here. And again, I want to go with really unique color. So I'm going to go with these. And these buildings are just going to be rectangles and triangles. So here's a rectangle. Here's a rectangle. Let's go with a cool triangle here and maybe a weird color. Let's go with something really strange, kind of like that. All right, I'm going to go with just a triangle shape here. Kind of reminds me of our cloud shapes. Repeating those shapes. Simplifying that building into nothing but a triangle. All right, and then I'm going to put in I'm going to repeat that because I kind of like this back here. So all I'm doing is using that to outline that yellow shape in the back. So that's just all abstract. All right, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more trees, and I'm going to go with some more of those wild colors. We'll put another red tree here. And maybe another red tree here. Let's turn that size up. That tree's really close. Let's go with some orange. But not like orange we might find like in nature, but like some crazy orange that you'd never see in nature. Yeah, that's not a natural orange. Unnatural orange. Go with unnatural orange. Okay, so we've got some basic shapes there. And so you can sort of see where we're going with this. We're just making this abstracted by, and let's go with one more crazy red tree back here. Oops, that's too big, and it went onto the wrong side. Let's go with that. Okay. Now, one of the things I want to do here now is take a look at how does my realistic painting without my drawing compared to my my abstract painting here without my drawing. So we're going to turn the drawing off as soon as I get my last little shape here. Did I mention I like to repeat things 3 times? So I like that blue in there 3 times. All right. So I'm going to go here and turn my layer off with my drawing on it. And this is realistic sort of painting versus absolutely abstract painting. That's what mine looks like. Let's see what you came up with. Guys, I look forward to seeing you in class. Have a great day. Get those turned in.